Hey there, fellow adult collectors. Welcome back. Davey Dion here with another vintage virtual video showcase today featuring the Matchbox Freddy Krueger 1989. This is a 9-inch Mego style or Mego-like action figure. That is, the articulation is similar to that of a traditional or classic Mego. And this is a defunct series. This is a series that did not go over well because it was the first installment in what was to be a set of 4 figures, and the other 3 figures were never released. This one made it to store shelves, and of course, parents' advocacy groups were outraged because how could they possibly make an action figure of a murdering psychopath from a film? Well, he really isn't, and this is what Matchbox tried to do. If you notice here, it says Maxx FX. Detail on the FX as in special effects. Maxx FX now showing quick change artist and the master of special effects. So what we're looking at here is a figure that's supposed to depict an actor or a stuntman and his costume. And you dress him up. It says you make the change happen. Completely posable and authentically detailed characters. Freddy from A Nightmare on Elm Street. And you got your little bit of box art here, which is interesting. They did a painting of Freddy there. And then you got this 9-inch action figure in a t-shirt, big collar for a t-shirt by the way, but a t-shirt, jeans, and a pair of shoes, and then you got Freddy's boots and hat and a deformed hand and the claw hand, and then the mask, which is a 2-piece snap-on mask. Robert Englund, not quite. Not quite Robert Englund. And then the traditional sweater and a pair of black pants. And sorry for any glare. You know, it's hard not to see too much glare with the cellophane window. And it's a shame that they were never able to follow through with this. And I'll go ahead and look around the box here for you. Tip this forward. I had it leaning against a stack of comics there. It's basically just the same artwork repeated, and that is actually a photograph of the prototype figure up here. It's a shame they never followed through with the series because I would have loved to have gotten all 4 pieces. And they are pictured on the back, and I will be showing you that here in a moment. This is a sealed box, so I'm not fit to open it. Enter the world of movie magic and special effects. They tried, guys. Matchbox really tried here to find a way to do this figure without getting in trouble, and they still did. And on the back, there is your Maxx FX random actor slash stuntman, whoever he's supposed to be, dressed in the Freddy costume but holding the mask. Again, showing emphasis that, yeah, this isn't really Freddy. He's just dressed as Freddy. And it says, assist Maxx, that's the action figure's name, M-A-X-X, kind of like Vin Diesel in Triple X, in recreating the greatest horror heroes in the history of Hollywood. Maybe that's where they made their mistake, because they're not really heroes, are they? Another image of Freddy. It's the same image over and over. And then they show you the other figures that were supposed to be in this series. So you had a Frankenstein, classic Frankenstein. A Dracula with wings. Dracula with wings. And then a big chap alien, which should have been their big clue that this wasn't going to work out, because you remember what happened to Kenner when they released the big chap alien and actually marketed it to children in the late 70s. It didn't go over well. I think this would have done better if they had released the Frankenstein and Dracula first. If they had done that, if they did the Frankenstein and the Dracula and then maybe snuck the big chap alien in there and did Freddy last, Matchbox would have gotten away with it. But it didn't quite work out for them, unfortunately. And to the best of my knowledge, this is the only figure that ever made it to store shelves. It says, recreate all your favorite movie monsters with these authentically detailed body parts. Clothing and accessories help you quickly transform the mild-mannered Maxx into spine-chilling monsters. You can even mix and match characters on Maxx's fully articulated body to create your own unstoppable menace. Haha, yeah. Completely posable, authentically detailed, easy on-off assembly, all lets you in on the secret world of special effects. Collect the whole world of Maxx FX. I wish I could. I wish I could, but unfortunately, this is the only piece available, again, to the best of my knowledge. And that's too bad. And you know what's interesting about this, and this is something I bring up often, talking about vintage pieces. What's really interesting about this is a vintage piece, and again, part of the fascination with modern toys for a lot of collectors is they feel like they can't afford the vintage stuff. Don't you know that this wouldn't cost you much more than a NECA Freddy or Mezco Freddy? Probably somewhere in the middle. You know, I wouldn't expect someone to pay much more than somewhere between $50 to $75 for this currently in this kind of condition, in pretty much off-the-shelf condition. I mean, there's a little bit, like there's a little corner ding right there, and very minor, but these can be easily found like on eBay or wherever for in the 50 to 75 range. So like I said, somewhere between the cost of an 8-inch NECA and a Mezco 1/12 is what you would pay for this. And it's truly vintage. It's from 1989. So guys, don't shortchange vintage just because certain lines like, you know, G.I. Joe or Masters of the Universe are really expensive. There's some great vintage pieces to be found out there. And I hope you got something out of this if you've never seen this before. I mean, this is, to me, I think this is just cool. Piece of pop culture history here. Cultural significance of action figure collecting and the horror genre, if you will, from Matchbox. So guys, what do you think? Have you ever seen this before? Is this something that you think would be interesting? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. Please do give the video a thumbs up. I sure would appreciate it. Share it if you can. All that good stuff. Subscribe if you're new. Check out some of the other videos if you haven't. We do a lot more than just vintage showcases. We're kind of an all-in nostalgia channel here. So that being said, what more can I say? But thanks for watching. And we will see you again soon.